Jake, what's up?
Hey, all right, we're live. We're live.
Mic's on. I think all the mics are on. I think everything's good. We'll see. I got to turn chat on here for a second. Let me see.
All right. While you're doing that, let me go ahead and welcome everybody. I'm not sure who's here. Once again, let me refresh you guys. I cannot see any chat at all. So please don't yell at me. Please don't send me DMs that I'm ignoring your chat. Rich is trying to do everything back in the studio there.
I can't do it anymore.
He's trying to look at chat. He's trying to do everything. Let us know if the mics are working. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It's been forever since we went live. I've been really, really busy. It's actually my fault. And Rich, you know, he likes to go on together so we can just knock out the headlines. So, like I said, make sure you share this. Make sure we're live on Periscope, YouTube. Let us know if we're live on both.
Yeah, Rocky in the house. It looks like we're live on YouTube, and it looks like we're live on Periscope.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, cool deal.
Yeah.
Missed you, man. Yeah, I know you've been busting your butt down there. Got Mama, got her going down there.
Oh, yeah, man. Just rehabbing a foreclosure condo that we got for my mom. So I'm still doing that. Rich has been my friend forever. And we haven't even talked maybe one time or twice since we gone live. So this is actually an opportunity to catch up with Rich and welcome you guys and share this out, man. Here we go.
Neighbor Abe said Jake is ignoring chat. No, he knows. Yeah, no, he just, what it is that he is operating off a, I don't know what anybody see, oh, I know. Remember when the professor made that radio that worked off someone riding a bike and the coconuts went around and around?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
That's what he's basically working over there. And once again, just a short synopsis of that. He's on the wrong side of a building and he can't get a, well, we'll say, stable internet connection all the time.
Yes.
So, yes.
Well, I am going to actually, I didn't even tell you this, Rich. Believe it or not, my mom has super fast Comcast, which I can't even get in my condo, which is so strange. So Abe is probably just messing around.
He was.
Welcome, Abe. But I'm still running Zoom on my phone on a hotspot. So that's all that thing could push. If I was to even try to do anything else, it's just going to go haywire. I should actually try to share this out. You want me to try that, or will it mess us up, Rich?
You could take your chances there. Glay rules, there you are. So, yeah, he's in the house. Rocky asking if we're going on D Live. I have to admit ignorance on D Live. I guess that's another streaming network or another streaming app. We'll have to check that out because I had not heard about that.
Yeah, me neither. Rocky, send me a direct message on Choose Total News on Twitter, shameless plug, and I'll find out what B Live is or D Live. Not sure what you say. All right, Rich, go into the first thing while I try to share this out. Hopefully it doesn't fry my Zoom out. We'll see.
I'm the boss. How about that? I'm the boss. How about that? I'm the boss. How about
countless material to work with as far as she goes, obviously. But the only thing that I have to say, she's talking about, she put out this tweet. We'll go ahead and show that right there. This week, I co-sponsored bills in support of D.C. statehood, H.R. 51, repeal PAYGO, comprehensive voting. I'm dropping my first original resolution soon. It's like a mixtape with way more nerdy producers. Anyway, gist of it is this. So there's a reason why D.C. is not the capital. Is not a state. And it was basically by the founding fathers that set into motion the fact that you did not want the head of the country in any one state because there'd be favoritism going on, that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's why that's going. So she's an idiot. The whole. I can't even get into it. I don't even know how she's got to be the darling of it. Oh wait, and he is gone. No, he's coming back. He's just going to share it out real quick. One thing that I did want to talk about is, I talk about appropriation, cultural appropriation. This is a clean Chinese food restaurant in New York is the latest flashpoint in a debate over cultural appropriation. Okay, so all these people said, and here he comes back. Hold on, let me get him in the house here. All right,
I hope it worked. I shared it out.
That's fine. So they were talking. This was what we were talking about, the Chinese cultural appropriation. Just because someone says they want clean Chinese food, so now they're saying that there's this lady shaming traditional Chinese food cooking with MSG, grease, and starch. I just don't get it. I mean, the thing is.
First of all, I'm from New York. I've never had clean Chinese food. Basically, it just comes right off the floor if they drop it, and boom, there you go. Get out of here. 10 minutes.
Cats are missing. You don't see them and stuff like that.
So they mean clean as in no MSG and all that. Okay.
Yeah, but if it's not authentic Chinese people that have the restaurant that aren't cooking, then yeah, it's whatever. But I know that your heart is really wanting to reach out for the Q thing tonight. I know you put that up there. What do you?
Well, before you switch gears on that, Burger King had to take down a commercial. I wish we had a picture we could pull up. There's a couple of videos because Burger King did a commercial where people were trying to eat a Whopper with chopsticks. It looked like drumsticks to me. They were big, and some people got offended, and they felt it was insensitive to their culture and the way they eat. And I'm like, man, let me tell you. I don't know what is going on with this snowflake nation, but it's gotten out of control, man. Everything's offensive. To me, it was just funny. It was so funny.
It was. Definitely was. And it's the way we're going because, oh, man, every group. But anyway, so talk to me. Talk to me about the Q thing.
Okay, so the Q thing, the QAnon thing, for those of you who don't know what QAnon is, it's supposedly a guy or a group of people that has kind of, inside information, maybe linked to military intelligence. I don't know if it's real or fake. I really don't care. But I will say that it's becoming quite the distraction. All I see on at least the people I follow or the people I blocked is this argument whether Q is real and Q is not real. And they're going to sue these people and they're taking down these people. And then the Q people go on attack. And I don't see anybody talking about Trump 2020. Right. So to me right now, all I see is a major distraction. Right. I try not to go on different pages. So I don't give a crap if Q is real or not. It ain't going to make my day. It ain't going to pay my bills, whatever anybody's into. But the distraction is what's bothering me. So people better stop focusing on 2020 and Trump. We'll also say this. A lot of people that I used to see, backing President Trump, we're always talking about Trump did this and Trump did that. Now everything's Q. Every time I go on a page, even if it's a Trump rally or if it's Trump speaking at the White House, it's Q. It's getting a little cultish.
Yes.
It's getting a little cultish. Sorry if I'm offending anybody, but when you go from Trump to Q, that's a problem to me. So that's all I really want.
Yeah, and I don't know much about the whole battle, the whole MAGA coalition, the Q people and all that stuff, but I did go, since you mentioned it, I went over there. There was like a 2-hour something video on the MAGA coalition. Trump may have been mentioned, a handful of times, only as alluding to whatever argument they were making and not actually a subject matter of substance or any of the policies going into this next election. And this next election is so crucial. I want to give a couple shout outs here. Shangle Laura in the house. We live in a nation of freedom, speech, whatever. Stephen Louder in the house. How you doing? Rocky, Q is fake, but yes, it is a distraction. And Rocky, yeah, it is a cult. So, and
yeah, now I'm not saying that people shouldn't be allowed to, and they their Q, or people shouldn't be allowed to follow it. I'm just a little worried about the distraction. That's all. Now, yeah, it's kind of weird that they claim Q is this military intelligence thing, but then they attack the MAGA coalition, which maybe has $20,000 in the bank, and there's 3 guys that run it. And why Q would attack that little tiny people? Allegedly, they're claiming that because Prayamedic now got close with the Q drops and all that. I've already spoke on Prayamedic. I think he's disgusting. I think he's a con artist. Yeah. I just don't like the guy. I don't like that he uses God to say he could bring back limbs and all this crap. And then he jumped on the Q because God gave him a dream. I already spoke on this crap. He knows how I feel. He actually blocked me when I asked, because he made the claim that he's doing this all to save children. And I asked how much money that you're making goes to actually saving children or they're victims of, child abuse. And he blocked me. I actually knew why he blocked me, but I wanted him to reach out to me and tell me why he blocked me. And he reached out and said, oh, because all you do is criticize my work and I don't like trolls. Excuse me, I'm not a troll. I'm just asking, if you're claiming you're doing this for the kids, then tell me how much money you've actually... Now, other people are like, oh, he doesn't make any money. I'm like, yes, he does. And I have no problem with that. He does a lot of, time and effort into that. So that's fine. I'm into capitalism. I'm not saying that. But don't claim you're only doing it for the kids if none of the money goes there. Another thing real quick. I know I'm rambling, but this is something that I've been watching. So they claim that, Q teaches people to do their research and to, this just gets people to think. Then why do you need a person like Prayamedic or these decoders? That's almost going against what Q says. Why do you need Prayamedic or anybody like him to decode it for you when you're supposed to take that information and research? So is research just watching Prayamedic's timeline? Come on, get out of here with all this.
Well, it's Well, it's like I was telling you, I said, the way I picture it is this. I always think of the Wizard of Oz, and she meets that fortune teller, and while her eyes are closed, he reaches into the purse, and he gets the picture, and he says, oh, wait, I see a farmhouse, and I see an old, kindly-looking lady, but wait, she's crying. Someone's broken her. Oh. So, it's one of those things, a couple things. Right. And I've never really followed Q because I never really fell into it, but the whole thing is this. If Q is real, why even speak in codes? Just put it out there what it is. If your ultimate goal is for everybody to know what happened and what's happening, put it out there. I follow stock twits all day long and watch these people talk about stocks, and everybody's got this insight and everybody knows something. They're guessing like everybody else. And so, like I said, why wouldn't you just put it out there? And there's no way to misprove them, because every time you say, oh, no, he meant to say this because it's going to, this leads to that.
Every time he's wrong, they say it's disinformation.
Yeah, this leads to that.
On purpose. And it's very strange. I look at it almost like a fortune cookie. Like we were talking about this right before we went live. A fortune cookie, I'll open it up and I'll be like, oh my God, it says I'll be visited by a stranger. And one of my old friends just visited me. How weird is that? And then you'll open it up and go, oh my God, this is crazy. It said I'll be visited by a stranger and somebody was breaking in your house last night. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But it has 2 different meanings to the same sentence. So whatever. That's all I really wanted to say on that. I never. Let me make this clear. I'm not on one side or the other. I don't like the other side, and I don't like the people that are doing the Q decoding either. I bailed out on both of those groups a long time ago. Didn't like it. I thought it was bad for conservatism. I thought it was bad for MAGA. So it's disgusting. The other group, they have foul language in it, everything, and I've called them out on that. But at least they don't try to scam people. Right. I will say that. I can't stand scamming people. I can't stand using God's name to try to raise money off of people. That I can't stand. But enough of that crap. We definitely need to focus on MAGA 2020. So what's chat saying? I'm sure they're freaking out.
No, actually, Enable Abe just said, please let Jake know he's not rambling, doing a good job about it. And Steven also reminded, 1 dead, 7 injured in that explosion they had in North Carolina when that, I think it was a construction facility busted into a gas line. and there was an explosion about there. So
yeah, I didn't even know anything about that. That happened today?
Yeah, it happened later on in the day. So yeah,
wow.
And so Rocky's giving you a thumbs up on the speech too. So yeah,
okay,
dude. And so we wanted to talk about, or I know you're up on this. Raise the bar. I know that was your
William Barr.
Yeah, several congressional Republicans have long questioned the origins of the Russian probe. Graham, a Trump ally, has called Barr to appoint a special counsel to look into whether or not counterintelligence investigation was open as a backdoor to spy on the Trump campaign. Obviously, we know how everybody felt about Trump during the election, so was that what this was about?
Right.
What do you think?
Well, what I think is, like Comey, who was the Democrats' hero until he wasn't, Barr was their hero. They loved Barr. And then all of a sudden now he's turning around, he's going to start investigating, you know, the people who opened up this fake collusion and spying on the Trump campaign and this fake dossier. I love it. Now they hate him. Right. You know, it's so funny how they go from loving the guy to hating him. And good. I hope they pay for what they did. The fact that they spied on opposition.
We actually paid for what all they did.
Yeah,
the taxpayers paid for all.
Yeah, I think what was it, like 40 million or something? I don't even know what it's up to. Who knows?
Yeah. And it was all to distract from the actual policies, man. All to distract.
It's disgusting, and it's not the first time. Look what Obama did. The Obama administration with Lois Lerner and the IRS, right? Yeah. They were targeting the Tea Party groups, and they wouldn't give them their tax exempt status, so they couldn't raise money.
Right.
You know, arming the, alphabet organizations, DEA, IRS, all of them, is not new. This is not new. It's just disgusting that it happens in our country. I hope they all pay for it. Is anybody going to Guantanamo like the clown fake life coach from Arizona says? People are going to Guantanamo and they're going to hang. First of all, telling people that you're going to hang people without a trial or whatever. I don't even know what the clown says. He just does anything. He even said that it doesn't have to be true. He just has to go viral. That's what a clown he is. Unfortunately, I got involved trying to help that guy win because James R., who I think is awesome, I like James R., asked me to, try to get behind this guy to try to get him elected because James R. was trying to put out a political social media company. So I said, sure, I got some skills. Let me get behind it. I don't regret it, but unfortunately I learned, the true colors of this clown. And I regret almost. It's embarrassing that I actually got behind that because then people think I'm in with that group and I'm not. So James R., yes, good. The other clown in Arizona, no. People ain't going to Guantanamo. Stop believing this clown. That's all I got to say. I'm just hacking people tonight. I don't even care.
That's all right. Clay Rule's giving thumbs up. Pilot Mike in the house. What's up, Pilot Mike? And Steven talking about, the thing is, exactly. What has Trump actually done to hurt the country? Jobs, defense, all that stuff. But what the investigation pretty much did is that any policy or procedure that was on the table that was borderline and on the fence had the tendency to be swayed just by the doubt. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with what was that whole investigation. Not that it ever actually would have produced anything, but yeah. So, and then Elaine in the house, giving Pilot Mike yo, and then we have a saying in the infantry: when everyone says the same thing, it becomes the truth. Great point. By the way, if nobody's familiar with the color of law, I don't know if we talked about this on one of the earlier shows, and I'll bring it up since Steven had that to say about the infantry. The color of law, just so everybody knows, really funny the way it works in this country. If enough people do something for enough period of time, it carries the same weight and force as law. And unless you go back and you actually specify and annotate what the actual law is that you're following, you're actually subjected to that. So basically this comes back to like the 2-cent stamp, some other things that went on that never actually went through congressional approval, but they still have and carry the full weight. And we've talked about, we'll do a show on that one day because it's actually covered.
Yeah. You remember that stuff back in the day? Like you can drive your car, you don't need a driver's license.
Yeah.
And we need somebody that tried to drive
but
paper on the back as a license plate saying UCC dash whatever.
UCC 1
and then he got
207.
pulled over.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people fight it, and you are reserving your rights because everything's contractual law nowadays. And I will say this:
Right.
back in the day, used to mail 2-cent letters all the time. And
Right.
and my father actually talked to a ATF guy who said, "Yeah, we know about that. We don't do anything about it unless it gets out of hand or they try to do it commercially." So,
Right.
yeah, funny stuff there.
Yeah, sending one letter for 2 cents instead of what is it now? I don't even know what a stamp is. Who knows?
It's forever stamps, man. It doesn't matter. You just buy
Oh,
them.
it doesn't matter. But sending one letter for 2 cents, because that's what the postal code says, is different than sending out your wedding invitations to like 200 people. You're probably going to get on the rate off of that.
Right. Now, somebody had asked here, and I forget who it was. He said, it's Ghostface talking about, you think Trump will win in 2020? Well, I got to be honest with you. Man, that's a tough call, but I will say this. I really, and everybody I'm sure says this about most elections, I really see this as one of the most important elections of our time, because the progressive movement is so entrenched now, and Bernie Sanders right now is the front runner as far as the presidential race, and socialism is definitely, it's definitely a matter of fact. I'm going to read something here since he brought that up. And obviously, as being a Christian, this kind of struck me, and but it talked more about the founding fathers and their belief system back in the day. And
well, before you go there, what I say is I think he will win, as long as people don't get complacent, they don't get distracted with this whole Q crap, and I don't see anybody the Democrats are going to run. I don't know if there's going to be a Republican that even challenges President Trump. Look at the record he's done. Everybody's still back there. It's just, I hope they don't just sit back. I hope they see the urgency that they did then. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, oh, we're doing great now. I don't need to vote. It's raining out. I mean, people need to be more urgent now than they were, but try to convince people that it's hard, man.
No, yeah, absolutely is. And, I think anybody on the Republican side would have already started trying to make a move, towards that. So anybody who comes up now would just be trying to position themselves for the following election, not this one. But, one of the things that this guy was writing about was the founding fathers knew about socialism and the dangers of socialism. And that's why and it talked about this whole thing about trying to remove God. And I'm going to go there because it's in the Constitution for a reason. And it talks about the fact that they knew that this nation was a new experiment, would be based on a concept put forth in the Declaration of Independence that all are created equal, endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, and that governments are only instituted to secure these rights. And that's so true. And so what socialists try to do is they try to take God out of the equation so that you think that government actually are giving you these rights. And that's the battle. And that's actually the battle that's going on. And it talked about, Christian theology with this idea of a fixed human nature. It infuriated Marx. Marx wasn't only an atheist. Marx was a God hater, and he denounced religion as an opium of the people. And his disciples, like Lenin, always targeted the churches, killing priests, raping nuns. And, and they said the horrors were justified as a class cleansing Marx that he envisioned. So, I don't know. Socialism.
There's been an attack on religion and socialism. It's hard. It's hard because people aren't as bright as they used to be. How do I say that politically correct? When they hear free this, free that, free everything, I don't believe Republicans would buy into it, but Democrats are going to be like, yeah, I love this.
Yep.
This free everything. Who's going to pay for it? Oh, who cares? Right. The 1%, the rich people. Do you know that if you tried to tax the 1%, the rich people to pay for everything, guess what? They're, like you say, Rich, I got this from you. They're out of here.
They're gone.
They're gone. See you later, America. Take it easy. I'm not paying for lazy people.
Yeah. So it's that's why I'm saying this. But you know what? You got AOC and you got Ilham and you got all those people, and this is the generation. And I don't know. And if you are young and you are out there and you're listening to this, and if you're out there and you're listening to this, then obviously you're not of that mindset. But so many are. and that's the danger. You know, I have kids. They come back from college. I have to deprogram them every time because this is the stuff that they are being taught each and every day. That's one of the reasons why I thought that it was really telling that Trump enacted that Fair Rights Act on college campuses, because we follow the campus reform site and all the crap that goes on and all the conservative stuff that's squashed before it ever gets out there. And so it's going to be
So Ilhan Omar, I mean, basically just out in the open, anti-Israel, and it's amazing to me how I'm not shocked that they elected her, because apparently up there is going to probably be the next caliphate, but how they really not coming down harder on her. I mean, she just, I believe she's from Palestine, right?
Yeah, and the fact that everybody defends everything she says in the progressive movement. So, you know what? And Stephen points out there, and there's a lot of people jumping in here.
Real quick. Let me remind people that welcome for coming in. Please share this out. I am not ignoring chat. If you're just joining, I can't see chat at all. I'm running Zoom on my hotspot on my phone, and that's all I can get out of it. Rich is doing the best he can to run the production and, fill us with knowledge and look at chat. So I apologize. I'm not ignoring your chat. Go ahead, Rich.
If nobody's seen it, by the way, Stephen Lauder talks about Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens for 2024. And I think that would be a great ticket. And if anybody saw Candace, and I'm sure they may have seen it on Twitter, Candace Owens obliterate that Lou guy when she talked about nationalism in relationship to Hitler, and all he did was play, and she ate him up. And that's really what needs to happen. But the problem is conservatives don't defend their opinion that much. They're almost kowtowed. How many people out there do not wear, if they had a Make America Great Again, have actually been kowtowed and have actually shelved those and put them in their closet and don't bring them out just because they don't want to be the one that's being stared at for nothing more than supporting the president of the United States that was duly elected. How insane is that? But that's...
I have a MAGA hat, and I'm conscious of when I wear it, and I wear it because I would just love for somebody to come at me and say that hat is a symbol of racism. I've talked about this. I would just turn around and say, well, that shirt you're wearing means that you rape people. And they'll be like, what? This shirt? It's just a blue shirt. I'm like, yeah, that shirt means you rape people as much as my hat is a racist thing. Now, quickly, Candace Owens, yes. Ben Shapiro, no. No, not many Republicans like that guy. I hate to tell you.
Hey, you know what? I'm of a think tank type of variety. I've never heard anything that I'll put it to you this way. Whether or not you actually like him, his conservative values are pretty much unshakable. All right. He's of the same bent that I am, in that I love Trump when Trump's right, and if Trump's not right, he's not right about things.
We can agree on that. Yeah. I do too, and I voted for Trump, and I bat down trolls for 2 years on his Facebook page. Me and this, we were called Troll Busters, this group. That's what we did. We just took out trolls on his page on Facebook. And and when President Trump is wrong, I call him out. But he's a little too much with the never Trumper, not a never Trumper, but a little too much with the Trump bashing, for my opinion. That's all.
Yeah, and mostly his rogue tweets, stuff like that is the only thing. But other than that, I will say this: there is nobody out there that I can think of that would actually be able to out-debate him. I would hate to be going against him in a presidential debate, and because that's what he does. That's what he's awesome at as far as debating. But anyway,
a lot of people have offered him to debate, and he, I know there's a lot of people that like Cernovich, and a lot of people that don't like Cernovich, or a lot of people that like Jack Posobiec on One American News, and a lot of, but they decline. He declines to debate them. I don't have an opinion on Cernovich. I do like Jack Posobiec though, and not just because he retweets me. And it's so funny, my tweets get maybe 100 impressions because I don't really do much on Twitter. But when he retweets me, holy cow, my whole program blows up. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen the count on that. That is pretty
crazy.
Cool. Which, by the way, I have a Twitter and I do a couple memes. And actually, I was proud. I don't know what an impression is. I haven't really figured out what that is.
It just means how many people have seen the tweet or the meme. But I I think you're doing a great job on your memes. I'm gonna plug you so it don't sound like you're doing it. 1600 Reasons Why, right? 1600 Reasons Why on Twitter. Rich has been doing some really funny memes, so go check that out. 1600 is obviously the address of the White House. I didn't know that because I'm dumb. But Rich was like, 1600, you dummy. I'm like, oh, I get it.
He's like, why so many reasons? Well,
yeah, that's a lot of reasons.
Just one reason.
Yeah, go follow him on Twitter, man.
That's funny. So yeah, no, but anyway, I do have one coming up about Biden. I've been working on it. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway,
oh god,
they're fun to
Joe.
do. Yeah, but if you do want to check it out, yeah, please, thank you. I mean, because they take a while to do. I only have 6 followers, but that's okay. We're always into the what, quality, not quantity. So there you go.
Yeah, but at least they're not bots. I can't stand these people. I'm not going to drop any more names, but we all know who they are. Using TweetDeck and bot armies and stuff for what? For what? So you look like you're bigger than you are. When you have, 400 people or 500 people watching live, but only the same 20 people are chatting. Come on, man. Seriously. That's funny. If you're doing it just so you can sell to advertisers, which I feel is fraud. If your advertisers thinking, wow, they're really doing them kind of numbers, but then they find out there's, bot armies behind it, I would sue your ass. Let me tell you. Oh, and there's a lot of people that do it. I know it's something to do. It's a business strategy, but I don't know. It's deceptive. I just don't like deceptive. I just don't like it. Right. That's all.
All right, so just to clear up some chat here that we got, man, I tell you what, I like the names too, yada, yada. Monica's in the house.
What's up?
I'm trying to think of, she wants to know who their names are. I don't know who that is. Elaine, that's 1600 Reasons Why. The memes aren't as good as Jake's saying, but yeah, they're cute.
Yes,
Steven, I'm like you like the I did one for Steven, on the Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. Steven is a Star Wars fanatic. He always asks me quiz questions. I can never answer him. Let's see here. Enabler Abe, he's there. Yeah, you guys are great, really active tonight. I want to talk about, touch on one thing right here, the Violence Against Women Act. All right, which one? I put the definition up here from Wikipedia, because one thing I would like to say is that there are people in Congress that support or are not in, what would you say, not in opposition to female genital mutilation just by Sharia law, but we won't go too much into that except for the fact that they're out there. But the thing that I wanted to say about this whole, because I've had a lot of people that were really unclear about the whole NRA and violence against women and how they're bashing the NRA. They're against violence against, they're for violence against women and they're against it. No. What they're wanting to do. The
NRA, they're the ones teaching these women to arm themselves so they can shoot these people. Yeah. And what? That blows my mind.
Yeah, they would like to put a gun in every woman's hand, and I would love that to happen too, as long as No. Some of the women I've met, they don't need to be having a gun. I was going through my ex-girlfriend list, and I'm thinking, man, hold on.
I might not have made it this far.
No, the only thing the NRA is actually trying to do here by their opposition to some of the sections of it is some of the stalker laws that, if there's a tweet out there, and obviously, man, abuse is like a really fine line, because there's something where you just have somebody who's upset and they try to dog you on Facebook or whatever they're doing. But then there's another one where they actually get really, really aggressive. So there's always going to be that line. The problem is, I think that the NRA is thinking that the line is a little bit too broad. But I just wanted to cover.
Well, cyber stalking is ridiculous. One thing I can't stand is doxing, which a lot of people don't know what that is. But doxing is putting out people's personal information. People remain anonymous for several reasons, because they don't want to lose their job, or they don't want their wife to lose their job, or they don't want their home address put out there because they have kids or families, and so people remain anonymous. And all right, so if they attack somebody and they say you're ugly or whatever, so what? That doesn't mean you put out their personal address and their information. If you're raising money and you're scamming people, then sure, people have a right to know who you are. And then, but if somebody's just, trolling you, that doesn't mean you should have the right to put their name and address out there. I mean, that doxing is out of control lately.
Right.
And you know what? It's funny because I see a lot of doxing on our side. I see a lot more doxing on Republican versus Republican or MAGA versus MAGA than I see from the other side. I hate to say it. I'm just telling you what I see. I see groups that don't like each other on our side doxing the hell out of each other. It's sickening.
You know, Pilot Mike says that doxing should be illegal. And, you know, if you were going to...
It is illegal.
Oh, is it?
Oh, absolutely. It's illegal. Okay. It's not just against the terms of service. If you remain anonymous and somebody puts out your public information and you didn't want it to, it's definitely illegal.
Oh, didn't know that. Because what I was going to say is if you actually subscribe to somebody's channel or something, that you're actually watching them, maybe it be in the terms and condition there. I don't know. It's hard to do, but going back to the point that I was trying to make.
Well, if it happened to me, I would handle it accordingly, and I'll leave it at that.
There you go. There you go.
For anybody that ever thinks about getting stupid, because one clown already threatened it to me, and it wouldn't be advisable. I can tell you that. So go ahead.
Which, by the way, Jake's not drunk slurring his words. He's just having a little buffering problem with.
Oh yeah, no. This was my first drink, and actually, it's pretty weak right now. Captain and Coke. For those of you who don't know, that's all I drink.
Yeah, I got a graph up, so no one can see that right now. But yeah, he's got that 56 modem kicking there. He's got dial up off. What was that? Ma Bell. But anyway, I want to put this graph up here about the NRA, okay, and the money that they're spending, because everybody thinks that the NRA is this huge juggernaut. This is 2017 at the second quarter, and all they spent was 2.3 million. Okay, so you look at this, and these statistics right here, the sources down there at the bottom. The NRA doesn't even fit this list. Now you have the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I can't even read them. They're small to me, but the Business Roundtable, AT&T, Dow, FedEx, Exxon, Amazon, Citi. You know, you can read through this whole list. T-Mobile, Alliance, Coca-Cola, American Airlines. All that. NRA's money doesn't even show up here, and these are the top lobbyists that are in Washington.
Wow.
All right. So these people that want to say that it's the NRA's the big money, no. These people, and this was even an article by CNBC, said stop blaming the NRA for failed gun control efforts because their influence power is not near as much as people want to say. And ultimately, these are your statistics from 1972 to 2018. And oh yeah, guess what? The ownership of guns is about the same percentage all the way up from 72 to 28 as far as an average. So the NRA has not really proliferated gun ownership anymore. So than it was back then. So this whole thing about the NRA just rules government and they're in lobbyists. Matter of fact, they had the statistics here. I just want to cover this real quick because what's his face? Rubio is supposed to be the NRA's darling. Okay, well, Rubio, if you count all the money he's taken in right now, 91 million in donations. You know how much he's received from the NRA? And this is the top guy for the NRA. He's supposed to be in their hip pocket. 3 million represents 3-point-something% of all the money this guy's taken in on donations. You really think that's going to sway him versus the other people that he had? 30% of Americans, or about 100 million people, own a gun. All right. Now, I will say this, as far as those percentages go, I guarantee you that percentage own more guns. I would say in 72, you had 45% gun ownership. Maybe they had one gun. And I will say that people probably have a lot more guns now in their house. But the percentage of people that had the proclivity to own them is still about the same percentage. So the thing about it is that Obama made this tweet right after Parkland. Okay. I'll say, we are grieving with Parkland, but we are not powerless. Caring for our kids is our first job, and until we can honestly say that we're doing enough to keep them safe from harm, including long overdue, here it is, common sense gun safety laws that most Americans want, then we have to change. Here's the problem. Everybody's idea of common sense is not the same. And that's the crux of the matter. That's where the ideological part of it comes in. I don't believe in your common sense is actually common sense. I think it's pretty damn stupid. So
I think something should be done, but I don't know what, because I'm not an expert on that. But I will say this: no matter what laws you pass, criminals don't care about your laws. The only thing you're going to do is tie the hands of good people that have guns. Look at Chicago. Look at New Zealand, which is funny. Not funny, but AOC actually accused the NRA for the guy shooting in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I don't think she realizes that the NRA isn't there, but, you know, that the lady, I don't know how she even ties her shoes. She probably uses Velcro.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the thing to do, attack NRA. And no matter what laws you pass, they're still going to get this strict drug laws, and people still get drugs. So, you know, let's do something. And, you know, especially with mental illness, let's put a lot of money into mental illness. People with mental illness shouldn't have a gun, clearly. But no matter what you pass, criminals are going to get guns. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it.
Yeah. So, so all in closing, I'll say after that rant about, you know, what the NRA supposedly has done to crush society is this: support the NRA. Because if nothing else, they're able to keep up with laws that are insidious that me and you don't have time to, and they're actually watching out for it. So in legislation that seems innocuous and harmless and helpful, there's always there's going to be somebody who tries to plant something in it. And thank God there's organizations out there that try to ferret this stuff out so that you can look at it and decide if it's something you support or something you're against. So,
well, yeah, and don't forget, our founding fathers put that in there because they seen a tyrannical government. Sounds kind of like what's going on now. Using the government to attack another party. They would love mission creep to start taking our guns away.
Right.
Trust me, absolute power corrupts absolutely. If they ever got the chance to take us over and rip our Constitution up, they would do it. That's not conspiracy theory. That's not paranoid. The only reason they don't do it is because of how many guns are in the hands of patriots. So God bless to that.
Yeah, you know, and Stephen talks about the mental illness thing hits home, and we say, you know, vets with PTSD can't have guns. You know, there's different mental conditions. And,
absolutely.
And on a case by case basis, they have to be decided which.
And that's what it comes down to. There's no broad brush for that. When you say mental illness, you know, what level?
And that's what the violence against women thing that they're saying. They're saying, wait a minute, stalking. What if it's a tweet? How far does it go? Who makes the call? Let's face it. When this happens, the knee-jerk reaction is to, you know, it doesn't go well for the male, and a lot of times it shouldn't. But sometimes. What if you have a vindictive girlfriend who just wants to ruin your life? I mean, there's a lot of so it's case by case, exactly, and that's the concern they have, that it's more of a broad brush than it is a case by case scenario.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I don't think I have a whole lot. A public safety warning I have here. Hold on, I found this article. I thought it was kind of interesting. All right. The common e-cigarette chemical flavorings may impair lung functions. The only thing I'll say about this is this: there are the things that they use for flavor in a lot of the e-cigarettes are the same things they use in flavoring in food. Well, the stuff of the flavoring in food is okay to ingest. Apparently not so good when you try to smoke it. And,
I'm not smoking my Oreos, you know.
Yeah, well, you know,
not yet.
But that flavoring chemical is in there, and they say it doesn't. They say it impairs the cilia in your lungs. So that was my public announcement.
Yeah, you get something like liquid lung or popcorn lung or something like that.
Yeah. So
I know there was this guy, Tommy Smokes or something, they had on Fox News, and the lady's trying to have a serious, you know, they had a doctor and one of the Fox News hosts, a woman, and he's totally making a joke out of it. He's like hitting 2 e-cigarettes at the same time. And they're like, well, you can get popcorn lung. He's like, so I like popcorn. He was just like, I mean, it was scary. I'm like, is this our future? Help us. Help us all.
Yeah, Elaine, let's see. Elaine, my husband is having heart cath. Well, Elaine, on the 27th, so she's chatting back with Monica, and hope all goes well with that.
Prayers.
My father had some heart surgery. I'll tell you one thing though. When he came out of it, he said, "Man, I didn't realize how bad I was." He said, "I've never felt." He said, "I haven't felt this good in a long time." You know, as far as his breathing and stuff like that. Shout out for Steven. Steven had posted, but I know his buddy Tyler. I know he had some heart surgery. Hope everything. And he's a young guy. And he's a young guy, not a smoker, nothing. Just had a problem from birth with his heart. Hope everything goes well with that.
Yeah.
And so anyway. And what you got? You got anything else?
No, just my closing statement is if you are a Trump supporter, just stay focused.
Yeah.
Don't get wrapped up in the two groups that are fighting each other. A lot of my viewers don't even know who they are, and I've blocked most of the people on both of those groups and their cult supporters. Whatever, if you tune into it, just be careful. I always say this: stay focused. Trump 2020. You know, don't get into these battles. You know, it's just toxic. Of course, you can do whatever you want. I take breaks from social media. I block people that sit there and just constantly bash each other. Becomes toxic. You know, life's short. Go out. I even put a tweet out. You know, go to the beach, go on vacation. Sometimes turn social media off. It could become addicting and toxic. And really, now I'm sounding like my grandfather at this point. So.
Yeah, and don't get into shouting matches with people on the other side. Try to be constructive. Try to educate. Show them that, you know, a cool mind can sway them. You get nothing with yelling, and I have gotten into numerous yelling incidents with people when it escalates that much. But really, education is the key. A lot of these people don't really know what's going on. You know where they get their news from. You know where they're getting programmed from. You just got to deprogram, bring them down, bring them back to the other side, so the election goes well. So yeah.
So if you're watching on Periscope, also make sure you go over to YouTube, Vantage Point USA on YouTube, and subscribe there. Ring the bell for notifications. We really don't go live on Stream.me anymore. Maybe we'll start doing a couple of the other ones that Rocky brought up. And
yeah, I thought D Live. Yeah, Rocky. We'll check that out. And I thought someone said Stream.me wasn't even there anymore.
Well, it was shut down just that one day. I don't know if it was, you know. And we don't do Facebook. Maybe we should start. I hate Facebook.
No, I'm not doing Facebook. I've never had an account. I never will have an account.
I know. It's bad. It's bad.
No. So no,
we just made an official decision. Yeah, no Facebook. Anyway.
You can
have our meetings live. So,
yeah.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah, this is as close as I get to social media, except for my 76 followers, whatever, on 1600 Reasons Why at twitter.com. Look at some useless memes. I'll put one of Joe Biden up here soon, but. Dude, I'll tell you what, it's been a long time, and I'm glad you got everything squared away. Oh, which, by the way, he was actually up in North Carolina. Sorry we could never get that to go live, but your flight was delayed until like midnight.
Yeah, that's right. The last time we went live, I was supposed to fly up to you, and we were going to go live that night. So I'm glad you're telling them that. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But we never got, by the time I got in, oh my God, what a nightmare.
Yeah, I didn't even go pick him up. I had somebody else go pick him up.
I know.
and then
he didn't even send Uber. He sent Duber, which is like the pot-friendly Uber. No, I'm just kidding.
That's it. I told some guy there was a quarter bag up in the airport if you go up there and get it, and he found Tony.
Yeah. And don't try to steal my idea for Duber. I already copyrighted and patented it. So
no, you didn't. Whenever he says that, it means he did, or else he wouldn't even.
Well, I just did. You better have invented it before this video.
All right,
I'm
guys.
timestamping it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, and thank you for. We're going to not try to stay away this long. Hopefully, most of the stuff Jake had to do, he's got squared away down there, and so hopefully we'll be coming back sooner. And actually,
absolutely.
He's got a computer at his house that may or may not work, and if he gets that up and running, then he can look at chat, and you won't have to suffer through me because I'm lousy at this stuff. But anyway, any final comments?
No, you've been doing good. You're staying on chat, and
I've missed a lot. I've missed a lot.
Good to be back, and avoid the negative, up to positive. Trump 2020, and be safe out there. It's a crazy world.
Yeah, and guys, like we always say, you could have been anywhere tonight. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. There's better places to be probably than here, but we thank you for showing up. It's starting to feel like that whole family thing because we're seeing the same people, and love having you with us. We're going to try the outro. Stick with it. Check it. It's got some information. It's got nothing. I got to actually do a new one. But anyway, we'll see if it works.
Yeah, give it a shot.
You guys take care. Bye-bye.
I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. Be good to us.